Okay,
And
we're
these
live.
aren't in any particular order. It's however Loud and Brown wants to lay them out.
Let's see here. It's live. It's spinning. It's spinning. It's spinning. It's spinning.
And, oh, you leaving out the good stuff? That's the Disney Plus version you're saying right there.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I never really grew up hearing that word, and I just don't really.
You don't care for it?
I don't mind it. That's the thing. I think being a mixed kid, I feel like I'm not like it's not part of my personality. Not that word.
Yeah. If it wasn't
Jazz
somewhere
music,
you,
sure.
yeah.
Food, yeah. You better believe I'm gonna claim that. But that, I'm like, it's also because I'm a mixed kid from the burbs. Maybe if I was like a city mixed kid, like Miles Morales, I'd throw M bombs left and right. But the way I grew up, like it wasn't even a part of my life at all.
True. Fair enough. It's pretty funny. You El Producto. Hard stop at 9. That's what she said.
I guess I should.
I'm just okay. It's on the Twitch now. And did someone share to? Oh, I guess I'll share to Facebook also. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I? At the let's see, a decade ago, Savorings. How many weddings have you been to?
A decade ago, like totally.
Or just in general? In general.
Like just in my life.
Yeah.
Or probably up until that point, I don't even know. Like, I'll just throw out and say like 20.
How many dropped Pony by Genuine?
At the wedding?
Yes.
None that I know of. None.
Oh, okay.
You went to a wedding where somebody?
Dude, I did, and I tell you what, everybody was dressed nicely, and everybody was taking pictures with babies and having a good time, and then that song drops, and then just everybody turns into a 17-year-old horn dog instantly.
At the wedding in front of
At
kids
the
and
wedding
everything?
in front of just.
Wow.
And I'm
Yeah,
like
you know
looking.
how it goes.
That song, it just does that to people. Hold on,
All right.
I got a D
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Oh, damn! The camera's cutting off this beautiful shirt. New lungs.
Is it warm enough in your half to wear a t-shirt?
Yeah, because I'm a little. That's why my doors usually shut during the winter. Is I make my room basically Hawaii. I just make it nice and like hot in here, and then the rest of the house is the Pacific Northwest. All right, we all shared. We're good. Russ, I'm gonna say you're not as lit as usual.
Yeah, you're pretty dark.
Am I?
Yeah.
Been getting my winter tan on or something. I don't know. I look about the same.
That's better now.
Wait, what did Sage say? You called him what?
I didn't say.
Oh, hold on. You know what it is? Hang on.
Ah, yeah, that's it. That's 100% it. Okay,
I forgot.
We are ready. This is 105. I'm gonna count down in 3, 2, 1. Maniacs! Happy last podcast episode of 2020. You have reached Soundcasting Network's very own video game podcast, where your argument is
invalid.
Grazie. We are not coming to you from Studio 212 in South Lake Union, Seattle, Washington. We are coming to you from our very own homes and in our warm homes, hopefully, because here in the Pacific Northwest, it's a little cold outside. It's not so bad today, though. I don't think.
No, it tried. It tried. An effort was made. Let's put it that way.
An effort was made to be winter. We got winter last week. Happy post-Christmas Festivus Kwanzaa Hanukkah.
Kwanzaa's still going on.
Oh, that's right. It lasts for several days.
It goes through the new year.
I, for the first time, read about it, and I feel like people could make that happen. Who knows? The fact of where it came from, this like professor at university with cultural studies, I'm like, oh, I thought it was just some whimsy that got thrown out of nowhere. Like it was a calculated decision to try to make something, which is basically what Christianity is. Hey,
Ooh, hey,
it's
hey,
the
hey.
truth. It was just 1,000 years ago.
All right.
That's all. Anyway, that said, welcome to the video game podcast, everybody.
Yes,
We are
that's
brought
what
to
this is.
you. Get the. Hey Sam Park, how you doing? We are brought to you by Voodoo Ranger
I
IPA.
believe that's right above my head here.
Oh yeah, it is. It's
Yeah.
not. It's
And
not
right over,
below me, but
and over here too.
yeah. Oh yeah, it's in the corner. Oh, there we are. And we are brought to you by Voodoo Ranger, B Corp certified, employee owned. You can catch them from Drizzly this winter. It won't obviously make it in time for Christmas, but I believe the promo's still going on. You can get $5 off your first Drizzly order with the code New Belgium.
All one word.
New Belgium, one word. Thank you. Hashtag live rangerously. Sagebell, what do you got in front of you?
I have the Juicy Haze IPA. It's a 7.5% alcohol per volume.
Pretty solid. I'm a fan. And go ahead, Savorings.
I'd like to say I'm living rangerously myself because this is the first time I've shared this on my timeline. So I have people I like grew up going to church with, and they probably looking right now like, is he on a beer commercial?
Oh no, not beer. It's the Pacific Northwest. It could be much worse. And if it was Portland, it could literally be anything.
I just had to throw that out there for all my confused peeps that are probably on here. Like, what is this he tagged us in? What is this?
Hi, extended relatives, friends, and family of our very own Savorings ... I noticed that your Savorings tag doesn't have ... on it.
Oh. You caught me in a continuity error.
Like I did catch you in a continuity
error.
error.
You're the script supervisor of this joint, so yeah,
but
fix that.
Everybody checking in on your behalf, be glad that we are not brought to you in part of being in Portland, Oregon, where we would have had partnerships with heroin, meth, and possibly mushrooms companies, because they're all legal now. So who knows what's even happening down there? If anything, it would be the lovely gamer below me. But before I get into that, I'm going to introduce myself. I am loudnbrown at loudnbrown on Twitter and Instagram. I'm GrowSteph on Steam and PlayStation. Glad to be here. I'm going to kick it over quick to the trucker hat.
FBI, the Savorings. Hang on, I'm putting Matt Stotts in his place in chat here. Hang on a second.
Okay, then we'll bring it down to the purple-haired downtown.
Hey, it's me, Sage. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at sagebell_model. And you can find me on Twitch and Twitter at sagebell. I normally stream on Twitch on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific time. And we stream for 3 hours doing co-optive games. Follow me on Twitter to figure out if I'm streaming other times. Or just follow me on Twitch and turn on your alerts so you know when I'm going live.
Woo!
And turn off that phone volume.
I know. It's so bad. I could always turn on silent, but I can't. I have to like play something and turn the volume down. I'm the worst. I'm a grandpa's.
But it's an iPhone. It should do that for you automatically.
It does everything for me automatically.
Yeah, that's what I'm
saying. My taxes are already done.
Mm-hmm.
Did you not know?
So.
Okay, so how about you introduce yourself, kind sir?
I'd be the Savorings ... Hello, everyone watching. A lot of people maybe, hopefully, for the first time. We'll see. I had to bring that up too because I had a family meeting with some extended family I haven't seen or talked to in a while, and that's on me because I'm a terrible relative. But I'm the weirdo way off in the corner in Washington. But more than one of them was like, "Hey, do you do podcasts? Do you do a radio show? Like you totally should with that voice." And I was like, "As a matter of fact, I do."
Do you do a radio? I like that.
No, that's not what they said. They didn't sound like that. But fix my mic.
I think it was mine.
Okay. Making sure.
I was doing this for a little bit.
So I'm glad to be here and that I'm in the right place, and I hope everyone's enjoying themselves and they're staying healthy and safe and being as happy as they can at this time and place. Find me on Steam, even though I haven't really played too much. So my game update this week is going to be pretty bare bones. But yeah, holla.
Solid. Well, I went into this is just going to be, I guess, just a current event. of me updating. I've been really diving into gaming content YouTube channels more than usual because now that we have a YouTube channel, we have a Twitch. I'm kind of seeing like what we could do different, and I'm noticing some of the articles that everybody kind of the ones that I'm drawn to, they pick something detailed. It's not just, hey, these are fighting games. Here's some tournament footage. That person sucks. This one's good. It's it's very very specific. There was a channel I was watching that went down to character animations and why they're successful on a lot of the most successful games and why people kind of hate on, Mortal Kombat's character animations. Not the gameplay, not the tournament scene, literally just what's on screen. And not even the hitboxes or the way the game plays. Just, the animations where someone jabs, like the physics are all off here, and I know this is a fantastical game. Like, here are examples. And he just keeps going and throws them under the bus. And I've never thought of those games like that because, you kind of don't see it. But it's that thing that you don't see. It's the reason why, and I said this 2 weeks ago on the podcast, the reason why you can give like a 4-color palette of anybody from the original Street Fighter, and you can kind of tell what character that is. It could be like pixels. And if you see blonde on top and then kind of camo color on the bottom, you're like, oh, that's Guile. And like you would never notice that. And you're muted. And
and Cammy.
and Cammy. Yeah, but that's different, right? Like the way that the colors go down. Anyway, they did like little panels, right? Almost like swatches when you're picking out like a living room paint.
Yeah.
And they did that for the entire, Champion Edition thing. It was vastly like so easy to tell what it was as long as the colors were in order, and they had the lengths of like, oh, this is the size of a head. You're like, oh, that's Ryu, awesome.
Nice.
Whereas you can't say that about a lot of games now. They're making characters, they're making fun play styles, but they're not making memorable people. And that's something that some games don't think about because they're too busy trying to be edgelords all the time.
Well, not only that, but stuff's not as mascot driven as it used to be. So you used to have to like have a mascot to sell your piece of plastic. Now people are just into the piece of plastic. So,
But also,
in a lot of cases too, they like to leave it up to the player. So you'll be playing as a soldier, or you'll be playing as a whatever in Cyberpunk. So they kind of more leave it up to the player now.
that is very true, and it was also absolutely a benefit. I mean, a product of the times. Mega Man was blue because we all know that had the most colors on the NES.
Mm-hmm.
So they picked that.
I mean, stuff like that goes way back. The Incredible Hulk was supposed to be gray, but gray was too expensive to print, so they had to make him green. Stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Word. I mean, so, but you can still have that because I don't want to get it to a point where just because we have better graphics and we can make more ambiguous, not ambiguous isn't the word. We can make, more minute details of design. I don't want characters to be samey, and there's something in between that you can do. So
it also kind of depends on the games you're playing too.
Sure.
If you look at what's her name, Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn, like her color palette's you could pick it out of a crowd.
Yeah, and I'm not even talking about color palettes so much anymore. That was obviously a very extreme case. But to hand a 10-year-old a set of colored pencils and be like, draw your favorite comic, like a video game character, you can still do that with Master Chief. It's not completely gone.
He's like 3 colors,
but you can kind of tell just with. Once again, it's not just the color palette. It's like you could tell he's got the big helmet. His armor has a certain look to it. You could even give him a weapon that's only Halo. Like, give him the plasma sword and it would be undeniable. But like, that's Master Chief. And I don't want it to get to a point where it's like Fortnite and it's like, I'm not throwing Destiny under the bus, but some of Destiny characters get kind of mushed together. Like, I still want people to have these characters. The same way I like it in movies too. I mean, I don't want, like, for example, perfect example in Kingdom Hearts when all of your villains are just in black cloaks with white hair, and it's all spiky.
Yeah, but that game was supposed to be like the video game version of like a Disney trope. So the villains were going to be samey, and but like that was by design though. It was supposed to
It
be like you're in a Disney movie.
it was, but the first one, the villains weren't. Your villains were the Disney villains, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
And it had a lot of character. And even in the world of Square Enix, your villains are sort of the same, but not to this degree. They literally have the
All
same
right, all
uniform.
right, all right, all right.
But
You keep
anyway,
defending the anti-Monkey.
what I'm saying is, I jumped into a bunch of content. I do really care about people doing stuff that's memorable. Like I always bring up how much of a experience I had with Portal, and it just like sticks in my head. It's not a long game. I don't even think
mean,
it's 10 hours.
no, and I mean, while we're talking about that, I was also looking at the. I guess there's an extended version of the Stanley Parable coming out, and I believe I've spoken about that game here on this podcast. And said that's something that you should definitely play if you found Portal or something like that to be interesting. But yeah, it's an extended version of it with more stuff in it. But yeah, that should be out on consoles, and there's going to be the updated PC version. But speaking on games that are like that, I would definitely recommend the Stanley Parable.
For sure. And that said, I played one of the most cartoon character shooters out there today, and I played a bunch of Overwatch.
Yeah, and those has very memorable characters. So that's another good example of that.
It's so much fun, you know. Apex kind of rides that line where we don't want to look like we're being catered to kids, but they're still really cool. I think they are doing what, you know, people that don't like Overwatch, I think they're pleasing that crowd. They're like, Overwatch is too kiddie. This is like right there. They're still memorable, good gameplay. It's a little different than just gun guy. It's a fun game. I'm bad at it, but
just moving around looks fun.
it really depends on your team so much. You know, you can't carry.
He goes in those games
Because of because of the system of how you revive your teammates. Anyway, that's what I played this week. We'll go on the same order.
Would that be Sage though next?
Oh yeah, that's right. We'll go on the same.
What you been playing, Sage?
So I played Raft pre-Christmas. We got to the scary chameleon-like rodents. So you get far enough in the game, you actually start to get like different story unlocked. So it takes a long fucking time unless you have other people with you to get the story undone. And so like we still don't really know, but some people effed up, and that's why we live on a raft and that we're collecting supplies and stuff. So we found like an oil rig, and then we found this big ship, and then there's like these rodents that are like chameleons that like try to murder you, and they're terrifying. And then
perfectly fun.
Yeah. And then I played Dead by Daylight. And I set up the VR. So I haven't played anything yet in the VR.
But did you get it all set up and got the controllers and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay.
So I was going to download some like free-to-play games and do little like clips of it.
I would say right now, like even delving into it, and VR games don't usually go on sale a lot, but there's a few that are on sale for relatively cheap VR games, like 10 or 15 bucks. But there's a few that I would say are totally worth checking out. And I'm in no rush to get the VR back. You can hold that indefinitely. So if you wanted to go ahead and mix up, play around in some games and stuff, feel free.
I'm looking for the Triphasmophobia in it.
Nice. I'm not sure how much that
went. So it's kind of funny because I've seen someone else stream with another person who was in VR, and so they'll like you can like break the character and hold things weird because you're an actual person instead of a keyboard and mouse. So like they hold things weird. It's kind of funny. They can be like this, and the character's broken.
So I just got a little link from London, and I looked. Resident Evil 7 VR compatible is like $16 right now.
Yeah, the only thing with that is to get it to work in VR on the PC, it's not natively supported on the PC. You have to go.
It's a PlayStation game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on both, but yeah, the VR portion it natively works on the PlayStation VR.
I see.
So to
I
get it to
see.
work on the PC, you have to download a separate mod, and you have to get that to run and work.
Bummer, because
Yeah.
that, it's a scary game, and
Mhm.
it's on VR. It would combine both worlds.
Yeah, there's a few games though. I'm taking a look at. I have my VR here, as a matter of fact.
I was
I have
fortunate
mine here.
enough.
Or
I was
yours.
fortunate enough to play the demo of Resident Evil 7, like not the demo, but like the teaser at PAX, like 4 years ago, and it just freaking it scared the bejesus out of me. I
This
had
is
to
the-
I see it.
Yeah, I meant to do. Once I get this set up, I'm actually gonna do one of my reviews of a VR game. So we might have to put up a disclaimer so people don't get like motion sickness looking at the video. But yeah, I got that there.
I
got
will
this
do
too?
one on Phasma when I get it all ready to go. Just jump right in.
I'm looking to see on the Steam page if that natively supports it.
Phasma?
Mm-hmm.
Should.
Let's see. Yeah, Oculus Rift. All right, cool. So you don't have to do anything special with it. You can just play it right through your Rift. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, cool. What did you? Oh, you already said what you played, right? Savorings. ...
Oh no, Sage was
Oh, okay.
That's what I played.
Nice.
Savorings ... What'd you play?
I have been playing not much. This was a busy week leading into Christmas, as you guys know.
Got the little ones.
Yeah, I got kids.
Made them happy. I'm assuming they're happy.
Yeah. We'll get into that when we discuss all the gaming related things that we got this Christmas or didn't get in a lot of cases in 2020. But yeah, me personally, I didn't really play much of anything. Actually, you know what? It's so sad. I have to look at my Steam profile to see what I even played. Let me look. I played Cyberpunk for like 10 minutes
before it crashed.
No, there was an update for it, so I jumped into the update just to see what was going on, and I was riding around on a motorcycle and I got stuck in a wall. So
I was hoping that the update would fix things. Collision.
Yeah.
That's so 2005.
I was driving like a jerk. I was driving my motorcycle like up onto the sidewalk, and then like in futuristic cities, I always have like those overhead walkways. So I was taking the stairs up on my motorcycle and just driving on those, and just running over people. And then I was gonna jump down, and then I jumped down. I kind of lost control. I gained control, and I went underneath the window, and my bike was like half in the ground, and then it started doing like the glitchy flipping thing, and I was like, okay, I'm out.
Yeah.
So. And it says I was on Steam VR. I probably booted that up for about 10 seconds before I realized that my VR didn't work with it natively, and I have to set it up through Windows Mixed Reality, which I do every day for my job. But to get it set up to do what I wanted to do right now is kind of a pain in the butt. So I kind of gave up on that. Oh, and the main reason, I can't believe I forgot this. The main reason I wasn't playing anything was because a couple of days ago I bricked my computer. And my computer
that's right. RIP. Yeah. Everybody that's watching at home.
Yep.
Be it YouTube, Twitch. We're on Twitch today? Yes?
So, yeah.
YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook. Press F for respect.
Yeah, I totally bricked my own computer doing a BIOS update, and it got to the part where it's like, don't turn off your computer. This could permanently screw up your computer if you do. And normally when it gets to that point, as it's updating the BIOS, that's usually anywhere from like a 30-second to like 10 to 15 minute thing, 10 to 15 minutes at the most. My computer was stuck there for 45 minutes. So I knew something wasn't right. So I made the executive decision, and I actually turned it off when it says not to. But I did recover it. I got it back, and I wasn't worried about like losing data or anything because all my hard drives and everything were all backed up. But to get it back was kind of a pain in the butt, and I finally did. And it was the third thing I tried after I actually sat down and stopped like throwing like spaghetti on the wall, see if it stuck.
Yeah, but, you're making me nervous. I haven't backed up my laptop in a couple of weeks.
It's fine. Just be careful with the BIOS updates. That's it. So I got it back. It took me about 2 days, and one day of that was me pouting and being too scared to try to fix it, and it wouldn't work. So I didn't want to touch it for like a day.
Was one of the days with you hovering over the add to cart button at the Apple Store website?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Not probably. A MacBook Pro coming to the house?
Never. And if I was going to get one, I'd wait for those new M1 joints to come out, those ARM processor ones. So if you were going to get a MacBook, I would say wait for those newer ones to come out.
You heard it here, everybody, from Saltier Podcast episode 105. Yeah. Savorings ... says to buy a Mac product.
No, I said
No, completely out of context.
No.
We're gonna cut that clip, and that's gonna be our trailer for the podcast.
If you were gonna buy one anyway, wait for the new ones, and then don't buy that one. Wait for like whatever the version 2 of that is. Like don't buy the first of anything. So yeah, and that's all I've been playing. Kick it around. Who's next?
No, I think we all talked about what we were playing. That's
Nice.
it.
Okay.
I mean, I played a little bit of Warzone when I was really, really bad at it, but
Nice.
game is bananas. It's more fun. Like, it's the roll of the dice. You don't know what weapons you're gonna have. You don't know what area you're gonna land on. Like, sometimes we'll do nothing different and have no organization. We'll just be talking and drinking, and we'll almost win the chicken dinner. And winner chicken dinner. And it'll be for no good reason, just because we landed at a good spot and got good weapons. And I kind of like that, which is why back in the day, which is not that long ago, we're talking like 2015, 2005, 2007.
That's a long time ago.
It is a long time ago. I'm old. But when we used to play Halo, whenever you play with my squad, we would always, the first thing we would do is, boom, turn all weapons on random. So anybody that tries to farm rocket launchers or sniper rifles, they'll get there and see like a Magnum just floating. And you're like, where's the rocket launcher? I'm like, it'll spawn. Play the game, jackass.
Mm-mm-mm.
And it's way more fun that way because it is a roll of the dice. It's the only absolutes of the vehicles, but even jumping into vehicles is risky because you don't know that someone didn't spawn right next to a rocket launcher and just waiting for that Banshee.
Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm. So, shall we talk about Twitch or Christmas first?
Let's go into Twitch.
Let's go into Twitch.
Let's talk about Twitch.
This is where Keith puts in the news music. The din 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 din. Dun, 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 dun. He has one for how to be a better drinker called Booze News, and it's actually an amazing part of that podcast. Also on the Soundcasting Network, like and subscribe, follow them. They're fantastic. But
Nice.
Sage Bell, what is your Twitch news?
All right, so today in Twitch, in the last week, as in whatever, 2 different female streamers got banned, but one got a 4-day ban. The streamer that got a permanent ban was her name is, I just thought, Taihuhu, and she plays Valorant. It's probably pronounced a little bit different than that, but
That's fine.
and the reason why she was banned from Twitch was because when she stepped off screen, her daughter appeared on
Oh,
stream, and she's under 13 and she was not accompanied by an adult. All right.
what?
So she got banned, right? But she's permanently banned. Unlike a streamer whose name is Misbehavin', who claims this was an accident, and the content that she posted or live streamed was OnlyFans content.
Oof.
So full biddies, under biddies.
Oh, goodness. Under biddies?
Under biddies.
Oh, you mean bottom biddies?
Bottom biddies. Both parts of the bottom biddies.
I thought you meant like under biddies. Like under boob is fine. Under boobs are great. No one's gonna care about under boob.
No.
Under boob is a straight up skill. Like sometimes I talk to people, especially when they're cosplaying a character that has it's like, oh, there's tape involved and a lot of measuring and remeasuring because the whole point is for it to not slip. Correct, right? Sagebell?
You think I do underboob cosplays?
I don't. But you've known people that have done it, I'm sure.
Yeah, but nowadays people can just buy like silicone fakies and just have like a whole cap thing that goes over. So then it's all fake from like here to like either like the boob or like all the way down the torso.
Goodness gracious, that's a lot
They do it
of
for
fake.
men's torsos too, like a full silicone thing that like covers your neck.
And then you get the
What?
pecs, right?
Yep.
So you be He-Man at the next con, huh?
Yeah.
Nice. Or She-Ra. Whatever floats your boat.
Wait, no, that doesn't work. So Misbehavin', who showed all of her stuff, only got a couple day ban.
How long was the kid on the camera?
I can't even like.
Did
Probably not that long. The whole thing said she went to the bathroom.
Hmm.
was
Yeah.
the kid playing any games? Did they like pick up the controller?
I don't know if the kid actually played Valorant, but she just like, took a break to go to the bathroom and the kid was on stream.
Oh, that's
Permanent ban.
unfortunate.
Where's she from? Because it sounds like they might have had to, based on like wherever maybe she was from. I don't know.
Oh, well, part of the DMCA safe rules, you can't be like, it just goes against Twitch policy for someone that's under 13 to be unaccompanied by an adult.
Well,
copyright claim, yeah.
Well, that's a unfortunate.
That is, because that's one of those things though. That's like a line in the sand. It's like, no, we gotta.
She's a professional esports player.
Sure.
Oh yeah, so that's like a revenue stream.
But a lifetime ban seems harsh.
Yeah, especially when the other chick who was showing bits got 4 days. That's like I saw. What's her name from Full House just got out today, for the college scam. She took 2 months. Like she just went in there. So yeah, just a little slap on the wrist. 4 days.
Yes, but I at the same time, especially you as a parent, I understand how the rules for minors need to be really strict, and I guess it sounds like Twitch is doing a no tolerance thing.
Yeah, and rightfully so.
Because someone trying to just draw in people with their body is one of the oldest occupations in the world, but two, they are of age and in control of their body and what they're doing. When minors are involved, that's when parents get involved. That's when parents with money and resources get involved and try to take down the entire thing. So they're like, nope, zero tolerance on kids. And I get that. I feel lifetime is really harsh.
Yes.
So basically, she's still banned and the other streamer can be alive again.
And that's what's kind of gnarly. I feel, especially with something like this, a year, if you want to do something really harsh and make a statement, but still, all this is going to do is this person's going to move to Facebook streaming, or
you're gonna have to
YouTube gaming. They have to. Or I was gonna try to name drop one of the ones that didn't make it, but
Pornhub.
No, like Mixer.
Yeah, I already went on my little mini Mixer rant how they took that down, and then on the Xbox controller there's a share button. So I have a controller with the share button plugged into my computer, and Windows doesn't recognize it. And they just had a streaming platform. It's weird.
Chime in if you want with your thoughts. Sam Park is on our Facebook chat is quoting what I said a couple months ago that AV and a bunch of people will not let me down for not knowing about. I didn't know what a bussy was. BUSSY. And I asked the Facebook audience, hey, what is this? And I had many comments because I didn't know. And now I know. And it's not going to be let down. Before we leave the topic on adult content and streamers and even the idea of cosplay, I dropped it in our little our little private chat here. I did find a wonderful streamer that I mean, not streamer, but content creator that I like a lot. Her name is Anna Isabel, and she's based out of Australia, and she goes over all these really cool topics. She talks about, like sex selling. She talks about how toxic the community can be. She talks about gatekeepers. And they're really, really well-produced videos, because I don't watch a lot of streams because a lot of it looks like it's different. It's a different culture. Like if I feel like watching someone play a game, I'll do it. But if I'm looking for content and knowledge, that's not necessarily the place I turn to. I like people that write out scripts and have an idea of what they want their video to do, because I'm really into film.
I've seen some of these videos before.
Yeah, and you know what the crazy thing is? If you look at the timestamps on it, she's only been active for like a year.
If even that.
And everybody, if you look at the comments, everybody's like, these are really, and she made it a point. She was like, I'm not just gonna kind of do these. I'm gonna make the idea for the episode, and she hired an editor. And every now and then, the editor will like spin the camera and be like, "Hi, editor's note." I'm like, "Oh," and she's really good points. It opened up to me a lot about the stuff that I didn't experience in the whole 2 times I cosplayed, which is because I never do. I didn't realize how much drama there is in that scene and how.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I heard of it and I just assumed it was like Pacific Northwest High School old world stuff. And if you want to jump on that a little bit, Sageville, and speak a little bit about this, even an opinion about the scene in general as a whole.
I think people from the Pacific Northwest like to say the drama's from the Pacific Northwest, but bitches, it's everywhere. It is so bad across the board. It's just people who like don't know how to grow up and act like effing adults, and they like whine and bitch about things, cause drama. Oh, have you ever heard of the term skinwalking?
No, what the hell's skinwalking?
What?
So that's when somebody who is like they dress like the character all the time and they are the character, and if other people cosplay as that character, that person's cosplaying as them.
Oh, so it would be wait. That doesn't
So-
make. But they did invent the character.
So this would be
they
would be you
didn't.
dressing as Barrett, and you are Barrett. And when you go to a Comic-Con and you see somebody else as Barrett, that person's not Barrett, they're you.
Yeah.
Because
Okay,
they're Barrett.
so I can see now that you mentioned this. I never know there was a term, but in the cosplay scene, Savorings there are certain people that will always do certain heroes.
Mhm.
For example, what is his name? The West Coast Avenger is like widely known as one of the best Captain Americas at the cons.
But he also does Deadpool.
Yeah, and I guess you're right. Okay, who would be an example that I might know of? I guess I'm drawing a blank here. Oh no, we don't want to name names. Okay, no naming names, but skinwalking exists. I get it. I know some people that I have some ideas in my head of people that are like, oh, this is the thing that I do every year.
This
And I'm like,
totally
"Alright."
sounds like something from like an HBO comedy where like one of the characters goes to a con. He's like, "Hey, buddy, hey, I'm Deadpool at these cons. You should know better than that." Like that's what it sounds like to me. Like somebody would approach somebody over it.
So at the same time, this same person. Why do I keep forgetting her name? I keep having to click the link and being like, what's her name? Anna Isabel. Well, because I've only been following her for like not even a month. Anna Isabel gives a great history on, and she's younger than us, right? She's in her 20s, but she talks about how even for her, just 10 years ago when she was in high school,
No,
you were still being condemned as being a geek. Like people still called people nerds, and they were othered. And geekdom as the zeitgeist is very recent, and you could pinpoint it to the MCU. Like that's when
she's got an IG too. Very cute.
Yeah, and you could pinpoint it to when the Marvel movies became absolute blockbusters. That's when being a nerd was cool. That's when this idea, and this happens in sports too. Like you're not a bigger fan than me. Look at all these jerseys I got signed, and it just moved, and it got to a point of like geeks saying that in their little circle to them, like broadcasting it across the universe, and it's starting to seed its way into everything. There's gatekeepers in the FGC, 100%, and now, and this is what's so sad about it. Cosplay was such this tiny part of conventions, and it's this thing where people get to celebrate characters they like, and everybody finds a way to make things not fun, and now there's gatekeepers in cosplay, people telling you didn't make that, you're not a real cosplayer, or your costume is just showing off your bits, like that's just trying to get likes, and it's just people try to bring other people down, and it's sad. And she does a great video on it, and she talks about all of it, and she seems really supportive of sex work is real work, and you could do what you want, and that's the thing, and no one should be downplayed. They're all different.
Yeah.
But we're all at the con.
Yeah.
Just
exactly.
That's
how I feel about most of it. Yeah. Like we're all in the same place. So what does the rest of it matter?
And I never got any of that.
Yeah.
I got nothing but praise.
Yeah.
I have to say, my Misty Knight cosplay was not bad. I thought it was cool. I thought it was freaking. I thought it was awesome. And Stephanie made cat eyes for me. And I got
lipstick.
And Savorings ... I got to take pictures with all of my favorite black artists that have drawn Misty Knight. And look at me, I don't have the frame for a lot of black superheroes. They're all massive, except for Miles.
You could be Afro Samurai.
Oh gosh, that'd be so easy, right? Yeah, but even then, that's not Western. I mean, yes, it is Western, but it's not comics.
You could be the Black Spike from Cowboy Bebop.
Sure, and that topic has been brought up on my blurred message groups, but like I said, I don't cosplay that often. I really wanted more people to know about Misty Knight. I did. I always thought she was a dope character. I like blaxploitation films, and my best. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I didn't know who she was until you cosplayed her and you talked all about her, so I was very well educated on her.
She's freaking cool.
When she was introduced into the Netflix Marvel series across all of them.
Insane casting for that too. Where did they find that lady? I looked and I was just like, that's Misty.
Yeah, she jumped out of nowhere.
Because I'm watching for her character, like all of it. I'm like, when she losing the arm.
Me too. Oh my god! I was gonna say that. I was waiting for her to get the arm.
And they gave you the fake out. That's what got me.
I hated that.
Remember when her arm got hurt, and they were like, "Oh, you're gonna be fine." I'm like, "What do you mean you're gonna be fine?"
Yeah, give her the Stark Tech arm, please.
Anyway, that's cosplay. That's Twitch. That's streamers. Thank you for diving in with that. Maniacs that are just tuning in, thanks for being here. We are Salt Tier, Soundcasting Network's very own video game podcast. And please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. And I say this because we also give stuff. We're trying to get that 40th.
We did. We got the 40th person.
Oh.
Was it Rogue? Did he do it?
I didn't see who it was. There's like no way to really tell on there. They don't have good like organizational.
Oh damn! Because I shouted it out when we were streaming together, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta find it." And he had a bunch of people in his stream, so
it's all good. I have to sort through all the games because we have a bunch, and I have to see which ones are already claimed. Yeah, I got to go through it. But
okay,
don't you worry. There's a lot of games, and they're not junk either.
Cool.
There's some good games up in there.
But yes, please join the conversation. We love that this group is getting a little more people. Like, look at our Facebook chat today. We have more than our fifth Beetle. We also have Sean Park. To anybody that knows, that's not just Sam Park. That is Sean Park. And we got MJ Gordon, the guitarist of this fantastic punk band in Seattle called Boss Tanaka. If you're into skate punk, and I don't want to call them pop punk because that puts an idea in your head. I think they're closer to skate punk. They're freaking awesome, and they're buddies of mine. Scope them out. But we need to talk Christmas.
Yeah. What did Santa bring you? Did you guys get a Nintendo 64?
No. We're going to start. I mean, you're going to kick this off on what you expected, what you gave, what you still want to buy yourself. Go for it.
Well, I'm going to start off with my Christmas present to myself because this is all about me. I showed this earlier. I got the HP Reverb G2. This is like the new hotness here. This works on Steam, Oculus, and Windows Mixed Reality for what that's worth. It's supposed to be really good. I haven't set it up yet, but I've been stockpiling VR games. I have Star Wars Squadrons that I haven't played yet, and some other.
Who made Star Wars? It's not the same people that made Battlefront, is it?
It was Motive. So they made the space combat part of Battlefront 2.
That's going to have a new resurgence too after Rogue Squadron gets dropped.
We shall see because I don't know about that. It's a movie, but it should be a show, I think. And
Rogue Squadron is going to be a movie?
Yeah. See, exactly. It should be an anthology show like Clone Wars where it just skips around and stuff. What else? And for myself, I got a couple Steam games here and there. I got a new monitor, courtesy of my fiance, a 1440p, 140 hertz, 4 hertz, blah blah blah. Nice monitor, very very good monitor. Nicest monitor I've ever owned, at least for gaming. And then for the kids, they got laced up. They got 2 Switches. They got a Corsair headset. They got a standalone Yeti mic like the one I'm using with the pop filter. They got the same headphones I'm using. They got a whole other computer that my youngest son's playing on because
Woo!
I wanted to take mine back because he was using my capture PC, the one right here, just sitting on a test bed.
Yeah.
So I got him a little HP. with
After you go on
integrated
this
graphics.
rant, please remind me to ask about your kids and gaming. But
Yes,
continue.
yes, I would definitely do that because that's what they're doing right now. If you hear
Well,
the
what I mean, not gaming. Sorry, with esports. But continue.
oh yeah, and my fiance, she got the same monitor, which was kind of a joke because I asked her to give me this one, and I got it originally. I think I told you guys on the podcast, but it had a little tiny little scratch in it, and it had one dead pixel, so I had to return it. But I plugged it in and messed around with it for a little bit, so I ended up getting her the same monitor. So she got the same monitor, and my son got the same monitor, and I got this one. And as far as gaming goes, that's pretty much it. I mean, if you want to call like that, pretty much it. 2 switches and all that stuff. So yeah, as far as the gaming tech in my house, that's pretty much how it went. And I got my capture PC back, so now I can do more fanciful stuff. So that was it. You're asking about my kids and the esports.
I just sent a link. So in this day and age, especially how old your kids are, because most of my friends have like babies. They have 2-year-olds and 5-year-olds, right? You have
Useless.
like damn tweens.
Uh,
A tween. How old is he? The oldest?
well, there are a couple teenagers. There's a 15-year-old. That's my stepdaughter, and then my stepson. I think he's about to turn 13.
Yeah.
And then my son's 11.
Got it.
And yeah, and then there's 2 9-year-olds.
So I'm mainly talking about the 11-year-old that freaking annihilated Cuphead, right?
Yes. And
So
then his save file got deleted, and he was just over it. He was just like, I'm not
yeah.
playing that again.
So with that discussion, I know that a lot of parents are trying to be mindful on their children's screen time and how much they're focused on their school studies and interacting with other children, and being social. Because me as a musician, it was easy. Join band, play your instrument with other kids. That was my sports. Because at first my parents felt guilty about me taking private drum lessons, and that's just me putting myself in the hole. I played video games, I watched cartoons, and I had my friends. I was very social, but I was like a latchkey kid, and I was skinnier than I am now. I was, freshman in high school. I was like 115 pounds. I was nothing. I was a tiny, tiny human. And my parents were like, "Oh, is this guy gonna be okay?" And then I joined jazz band and marching band. I started skateboarding, and they were like, "All right, he's getting out there. He's being social with his talent and other things." In this day and age, where esports is actually viable, and I sent a link on our private chat. What is the conversation you and your partner have about kids and esports and college? Is that in the cards? Because he sounds really good at video games. I was never that good,
No, you probably were at one point.
No.
Yeah.
I tried to play Cuphead as a full big brain adult, and I can't do it. I was never that good at platformers.
But you beat Contra and stuff though back in the day, didn't you?
I did, but only with the code.
Okay.
Most people can beat that with 30 lives. Beating that game with 5 lives is fucking bananas.
There's way to cheese games like Cuphead.
There are, but it's difficult,
like
and but what I mean is, it sounds like he's playing the right games. He moved up to. You said is he playing Valorant? You said no, Team Fortress.
Counter Strike. Oh,
Counter Strike.
They played Team Fortress way back in the day. That was like their first shooter.
But Counter Strike is a big deal. That's not like a kid's game. That's huge.
But here's the thing though, like they play Roblox, and Roblox has like knockoffs of these games, and after a while it gets to the point where the knockoff is like almost identical, and I'm like, that's when I was like, you might as well just play Counter Strike. So they did.
Nice. Well, the thing is, okay, and to try to not lengthen this too much, is there encouragement from you and your partner, or are you kind of just letting them find their own path? Like, how much are you involved in this?
I mean,
for example,
we buy them all their equipment.
Yeah, you buy them all the equipment, but I'm thinking about like 5 years from now. Like, how much are you involved with? And like I said, the link. Like, is this something that you're looking at for college or something to pursue? or are you doing something more traditional like STEM
Well,
careers?
isn't the gamer kid 9?
I mean, they all are.
11.
I
Oh,
mean, all of them. They
okay.
all
Well,
are. So the gamut from 15 to about 9, the whole gamut.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I would say the younger ones, you wouldn't be thinking about it yet.
And plus, the younger ones are kind of goofy, and they don't have that like discipline or like focus to do
So
it.
it's not even in the because
Yeah.
by the time I started getting good at drums, my parents were already like, "We're gonna have him go to Grambling. He's gonna go to Black College and play marching band, or he's gonna be in the Navy band." My dad was already like
Yeah.
planning out things, not to force me into it. He was. My parents are amazing
Standard.
about it.
No, the thing I've noticed as a parent going through this, is you have to give the kid like like certain tools to move forward, but you have to let them move forward on their own. Like you can't funnel
Okay.
them down anything, and you'd be surprised on where they go. And all you can do is just help them while they're there. You can run, you could be the bumpers on either side to keep them going from too far either way.
Mm-hmm.
But really, you just got to let them roll down the lane on their own. And if they hit the side, you got to be like, hey, back in the middle, and check it a little bit. But if they're going down the middle and they're finding their own path, all you can really do is be there to offer
The
assistance and support.
the reason this is interesting to me is there's no legacy yet. There is no old guard of professional esports players. Yes, there was like John Fatality probably has a kid by now,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
and that would be the first generation of someone with a kid that might get into it. But me coming from my dad who played drums and bass, and I mean this isn't spilling any beans, but Sage, with you and your family in photography and dogs.
Nope. None of that happened until I was 16.
Okay.
That we don't have a family history of any of that. My mom didn't pick it up until I was like getting into modeling.
Oh, so that's a
And
newer thing. Okay.
yeah, and then dogs kind of came from modeling because of a contact we had who was a makeup artist whose mother was a dog breeder. So
Oh,
all
so
of that
so
happened when I was old enough to work.
so vastly different.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm really curious. I almost want to see, and maybe a super producer dropping a double deucer can chime in here with kids of his
'cause
own.
he has kids of his
And
own, yeah.
I almost want to see like little updates because this is so fascinating to me as someone that's been doing something since I was little. I want
Yeah.
like to see what, and I have never even met this kid, and I already have appreciation for them because he's playing really cool games, and
Yeah, he's
everybody
playing,
else's kid is just playing Fortnite. And
they definitely play that too. I've had to break up about 4 Fortnite fights today at least.
oh Jesus!
Uh,
Incoming.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I can tell you that like my 11-year-old went from. I mean, what did she get into first? I don't remember, but she got into Minecraft early, and she's still playing that. And she plays
Yeah.
Fortnite. And by the way, Savorings, if your kids are playing Fortnite,
Mhm.
I need to friend them so that I can complete some of these challenges on the newest battle pass.
They're doing that all day. So yeah, you shoot me your info.
Because I made a promise to wifey that there would be no randoms in the Sony account, so that none of them can get to my kids and act weird with them.
Okay.
So I need people I know to play with.
Yeah.
That's smart. That's smart.
Shoot me that info.
This is like a whole different level of gaming.
Yeah.
It is, man. You just got to be careful because there's fucking weirdos out there.
There are. I kind of want to be a parent and be like, no, this is what a hard knockdown is. Now get that Oki.
Well, you have to have the social media talk with the kids, and I saw a social media talk go down very poorly with a girl who was 10 at the time. She's 15 now. Her mom and dad did the scare tactic of how scary people are on, and she's just crying, and I'm like, oh my God, this is not how you handle this.
No, my kids, my 11-year-old does not have social media, and she will not be allowed to have social media. I made the mistake of letting her sign up for a fanfic site. Like, I took a look at it and I was like, okay, this looks relatively harmless. And I took a look through all the postings, and then it was like, oh wait, no. So
I feel pretty fortunate in this way because my kids, and I can hear them, they're right there. So like when they're talking and interacting, I can hear them, and it's just 2 feet away from looking at them. So I hear them, and they do talk with people online. Most of them are their friends, the people that they've been playing games for a long time with. I played with some of them, all together and stuff like that. Most, some of them are older, like they play Rocket League. So my son plays with older kids and some adults from time to time. But it's pretty funny to hear them like dominating a conversation like 9, 11 years old, and they're like, no, we're gonna do this, and everybody else is like, okay. I've heard them before, and like I've heard them steer conversations, like they themselves as the kid. So I feel confident, and you just have to monitor it. You can't just be totally blind to it. Like I said, I can hear them over my shoulder, whatever they're doing and stuff like that. So
That's smart. My parents put the family computer downstairs right next to the living room.
yeah, theirs is in the living room, so we
Yeah,
can watch it.
that's smart.
There's a camera and everything in there, so yeah.
Kids.
Well, heck, there's a thing in the back of my head as a host for the Solitaire podcast where I want to see your kid just rise the ranks and later just hear a story like, oh yeah, he's at Long Beach. He's on the esports team. And I'm like, yeah. It's like, yeah, full ride.
I mean,
Don't have to pay for college.
Especially by the time they get older, that's going to be way more prevalent. It'll be way more socially acceptable.
Thank you, super
thanks,
producer.
Steve. Yeah. So the odds of that happening for them will be much higher.
So, for example, without tooting my horn, my dad gets a little more push later. He's like, hey, we don't have that much money. If you do like drums, can you do this band? Can you do this program and see what catches? And so I did all these extra jazz bands, and I got a scholarship to USC. And that's kind of like the dream for a parent. Be like, hey, if this person that I created really wants to follow this career, I help them get to a point where they can help progress, and it's not super expensive. So
real quick, I can't speak for their moms. I can't speak for them, but me personally, I'm gonna support my kids whatever they do. I tell them constantly, I'm always proud of you. Whatever you decide to do in life, as long as you're not hurting anyone else, I got your back 100%. If you choose to go to college or not, I have your back 100%. Like we'll figure that out when it gets to that point. And don't think anything's impossible. If you want to play games, if you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a writer, a comedian, whatever, anything's possible. So I'm not going to laugh you out of the room when you come to me with your idea. So feel free to come to me with your idea. So that's kind of how I play it with my kids. So
my parents were very supportive when I was a kid. They let me, I'd be like, hey, I want to try dance. And so they paid for dance lessons.
Yeah, because
you never know.
You never know. And that's the thing with kids. You never know. Like they just end up doing things. And you're just like, I had no idea you were even into that. And they're experts at it. And you're just like, when did this happen? So that's part of being a parent. That's part of the benefits of being a parent is having that experience.
Well, word. That said, before we get to our closing statements here, because it is 2100 hours,
I
want to give another shout out. No, that was mostly me. I really wanted to know about the stuff that we did not write down at all, but when it came to the kids discussion, all this stuff kind of went into my head. But we are rocking.
Can I hear what Sage Bell gotta say? What'd you get for Christmas, Sage Bell, as far as gaming related stuff?
Gaming relatable. Okay, I'll do it quickly because gaming related I bought for myself, which is Steam sale. So I got Rain World, Hatred, Friday the 13th, the game, Uno, Miss Survival, Dragon Age 2.
Nice, the good one.
Hunt Showdown.
All right, that's good.
And then my friend actually gifted that one to me, so I guess that was a gift.
Yeah.
And then Fall Guys because I was curious.
Nice. Okay.
That is a good amount of games.
Very
There's
nice.
some really good sales.
There are some really good Steam sales. Loud and Brown, you need to get on there.
I bought myself a baseball cap.
Get on there.
Yeah,
spend like $30 on games.
Yeah, I spent $30 on like all of those games.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So spend like $30. Just get yourself something.
Okay, heard. Maniacs. We're drinking Voodoo Ranger. Woo! Check them out. They have so much more beers than we're already having. We have the Imperial IPA and a bomber. You're going to be feeling loose, my friend.
I still got 2 cases of the Atomic Pumpkin right there.
I know, but that bomber I'm saying is all anybody needs to get a little loose. And I got the Juicy Haze IPA. Check them out. Their social media is nuts this month. They just did like a Street Fighter video, and I was like panicking, going, oh my God, they freaking did it. And the video kept going, and they had animations. I was like, dude, their production team is amazing. And I like that they're leaning more into gaming. And oh my God, we didn't even talk about the Kentucky Fried Console.
By the way, there's a console that you can keep your chicken warm in, and it's a gaming. And I thought it was a joke, and they said they'll release the price next month, but they wanted to announce it for Christmas. We'll talk about that in 2021. But
Please like, share, and subscribe for Voodoo Ranger, hashtag Live Rangerously. They've been so sweet to us. Remember that if you want to deliver some to your friends or to yourself, use Drizzly and use the code New Belgium, one word, and you get $5 off your first pork chess. Hashtag Live Rangerously. Woo!
Nice.
Yeah, and my closing statement is bother all your friends with kids and try to get as many pro gamers. I want it to be everywhere. I don't want it to be on ESPN2 at a weird time slot. I want Monday night football kind
It
of
will be.
ratings.
It will be
And
at some point.
it's only going to get bigger. And I was just talking to my friends, they Donkey released a video completely teasing A Thousand Thieves esports facility and how there's ads everywhere and it's kind of a joke, but
Yeah.
some of them I think it could get better. These are all the people that are doing the test runs, like
Yeah.
football was laughed at first. Everybody was like, football will never be baseball. Football is for college. Like, that's not a professional sport.
Yeah.
And esports will get there, and after the MOBAs and the shooters
It was
pave
supposed
the
to
way.
be. It was supposed to be exhibition in the Olympics this year.
Yeah, I know. We'll see next year. They still
Yeah.
might try.
Yeah.
And like I said, the MOBAs and the shooters are going to pave the way, and then us little FGC kids are going to roll in afterwards and be like, holler.
Fighting games will be one of the first genres that's in there, if not one of
You
the,
think it's going to be before shooters and MOBAs?
No. It'll be shooters, but I think it'll be some kind of like officially sanctioned shooter. It won't be like Quake, and people will be like, I got a gold medal in Quake. It'll be like some kind of officially sanctioned Olympic shooter that's made by something or something. And then we'll get into like a licensed actual game. And then as soon as that happens, the very next whatever, then you'll see a fighting game. And I'm not sure which one it'll be.
Wow. Good to know.
I think CD Projekt Red will get the contract to create the first Olympic esports game.
Oh boy. No, are you sure it won't be Bethesda?
Yeah, the whole challenge of the Olympic sport will be to do a full run through without crashing.
Yes. Oh my gosh. You
So
sure it won't
actually,
be
the
Madden?
sport starts the first Olympic with the team making it. They
Yeah,
have
it's
make
going
the
to be Madden 21 at the Olympic Games, just people just exploiting it for gold medals.
Oh my god. Well, Maniacs, I'm at loudnbrown on Instagram and Twitter. I'm growstuff with a PH. Come at me. I'm mostly playing Overwatch and Tekken when it comes to Steam and Battle.net. And the other stuff, I'm going to jump into some of these campaign games in 2021. I kind of dove down a art film hole this week and haven't been gaming that much because I like movies.
You need to get Dragon Quest, my friend, because you like the Final Fantasy games, right? And you like the Akira Toriyama artwork and all that stuff too, right? So like
yeah, but I'm gonna jump into that game. I'm a very social gamer, right? So I'm probably gonna jump into that. What did I say last week? What was it called?
Oh, Deep Rock Galactic.
That's the next game I'm gonna jump into.
I have it
right?
installed. You just let me know.
I will. And down to the purple one.
Hi, catch me on Instagram and Facebook at SageBell_model. Catch me on Twitch and Twitter at SageBell. Search either one of those two options to find me on other platforms. I'm most places. Watch me Thursday nights, co-op streaming on Twitch. Occasionally I stream other days as well.
Nice.
And up to you, I guess.
You got the Savorings, ... Even though it doesn't say that here if you're watching the stream. I need to fix that. Catch me online hopefully this coming week. I have more courage to mess with my computer. I'm still a little PTSD from almost breaking it. Find me on the Steam group where we will be giving out a couple games at least here in the next week or so. Join our Steam group at Saltier Podcast. It's just a Steam group name. Just search for that. And we will be giving it out. Pay attention to that page for announcements. And we'll probably be announcing that on the Facebook page as well. Yeah, see you guys next week. Everybody stay safe. Have a happy new year. Stay double safe. It's crazy out there. Stay home and play a video game if you must. But
it is. And remember to like, subscribe. We are on Instagram and Twitter at salt_tierpod. Everything else is Salt Tier Podcast. Tell your friends. Tell your wife. Tell everybody. Yep. Hide your husbands because they're raping everybody around here. And thank you very kindly. We will see you next year.
Next year. Yeah.
See you next year.
This 2020.
This has been a production of the Soundcasting Network. Thank you kindly.
2020.